KGAB Weekends, Joe Pag, and weekends every Saturday and Sunday afternoon on AM 650, KGAB, and KGAB.com.
And 8:38 is your time here on AM 650 KGAB and KGAB.com. Right now we have open line times at 632-6500 or 632-3323, and there's an article in today's paper by Bradley Harrington in the opinion piece talking about climate change. And one of the things that he had quoted right in within the first couple of paragraphs of his piece that was quoted by the WTE on May 28th, and I remember reading that, is that President Barack Obama is about to unveil the centerpiece of his agenda to fight climate change, a much anticipated rule to slash the emission of planet-warming gases from power plants. Feds push state to cut emissions. My question to you, and this is something that I'm fearful of because I've lived in states where they've done this, emissions testing stations. Some of you have lived in some areas where they have done. I know when I lived in Washington State, in order to cut down on emissions, which to me is just a big money maker, but that's just my opinion, $15 for the initial test, and then the retest is free if the initial test failed within the last 365 days and if initially tested at an appropriate testing station. Then it's going to cost $15 if initially tested at an authorized test facility, and all subsequent tests are $15. They will accept cash and no bills over $50. Now, if it doesn't pass emissions, guess what you get to do? Depending on the age of your car, you get to go pay out all that money, and even if it just failed by a couple of points, you get to pay all that money, plus pay $15 to have this done, all in the name of climate change and emissions control. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. It's your turn this morning.
Hey, good morning, Brother Freeman.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good.
Long time no hear.
Yeah, well, this work and stuff interferes with my political agitation.
If you were on welfare, then you could call in a little more often. You may want to consider that. But what's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read that whole article in the paper this morning about the secret meetings, but this is very serious stuff. Because if we don't have a government where decisions are made in the open and the public is informed and has a chance to attend, then we have a secret government. And I think we're definitely edging towards that in this county. A couple weeks ago with that quickie meeting they had to raise the pay of the elected officials, in order so that a couple of them could go on another taxpayer-sponsored junket to Alaska this time. Mm-hmm. I mean, if this isn't the French aristocracy prior to the Revolution, I don't know what is.
Well, what really gets me, Frank, is the fact that we've been known as the most conservative state in the Union, and I'm afraid if we're doing these D.C. antics here, what's the rest of the country look like? And, of course, I am saying that rhetorically.
Well, no, we're not conservative at all. Compared to Nevada, where the Democrats were the conservative party, the Republicans are the liberal party in this state. But I know for a fact that this goes on a daily basis with the county commissioners. They are hobnobbing behind closed doors without letting the public know, without including all the members of the commission. Those three of them will get together and they will connive and plot and scheme together. And this is why we got to clean out that county commission. We got one good guy on there who's on our side, the people's side, and that's Emily.
Well, I'm trying to find, we had a list here of the county commissioners, and of course, amongst all my junk here on my desk, I can't find it, because I was going to give the public some ideas for some options. So maybe when I come back from the break, oh, here we go. All right, county commissions. Let's see, Linda Heath is running. She's not on. Rick Kessler's on. He's not running. Christine Lummis. Brett Kupak, Art Hansen, Dave Beadle, Larry Spire, and Kurt Wilson. Troy Thompson, who's currently on, is running, and Emily Hasenauer is also running, and I believe Diane Humphreys is not running, so she's not in the mix.
Yeah, and beware the people that already are feeding at the government trough who want to run for an elective office. And there's one of those you just read that is, and if he should get elected, he will serve the interests of the government, not of the people.
Well, who are you talking about?
Kupak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, he ran before, and I think a lot of people kind of had a raised eyebrow towards him because of who he works for and some of the things that he's done. But, that's a decision the people have to make. So.
For sure. Okay, I'll let you go.
Frank, thanks for weighing in. All right. 8:43 is your time. If you want to be on the program today, the number is 632-6500. We're going to take a really quick break, come back to your phone calls. You're listening to AM 650 KGAB on a Friday morning at Cheyenne's #1 News Talk. Good morning.